Thomas and Bertie. One morning, Thomas was waiting at a junction when a red bus arrived. "Hello," said Thomas. "Who are you?" "I'm Bertie. Who are you?" "I'm Thomas. I run the branch line." "So you're Thomas, eh? I remember now. You got stuck in the snow. I took your passengers and Terence the tractor pulled you out. I've come to help you with your passengers today." "Help me?" said Thomas. "I can go faster than you." "You can't," said Bertie. "I can," huffed Thomas. "I'll race you," said Bertie. Their drivers agreed to the race going ahead. "Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go!" "Come along, come along." "We're coming along, we're coming along."
Hi everyone, Daniel here, and thank you for tuning back into my mini playthrough series of Thomas and Friends, Wonders of Sodor. If you're here from the previous video, thank you so much for being here. If you are new to this, there's no need to go back to the first one if you don't want to. This is based on a scenario by scenario basis, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy. And if you want to see more videos like these in the future, do leave a comment letting me know. Other than that, if you like... oh, there goes Bertie. Hi, Bertie. Bye, Bertie. If you like railway enthusiasm videos in general, or train spotting videos, or model railway videos, you know, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. I'm making all sorts. This is just new for me, because I wanted to give train gaming content a go for a while, see how well it does. I figured that this was the perfect way to start. One thing I will say, when the scenario started, I didn't like the fact that the countdown to the race was not in sync with the voice acting, or vice versa. It just threw me off. It did not look good. I needed to be in on. I'm sure it's a minor detail that can be patched later on down the line. It's not a big thing, but it does set me off. I will say, one thing I did mention about was, like, this one is, it's not silent, but there's no, like, audio to this game, and, like, we, as Thomas fans, we're able to fill in the blanks and add in that extra audio. But, I'm guessing the reason they didn't go for having music in the game, other than just the main theme before, like, the reboots and all that, is probably because of licensing and copyright issues, and I get that. But I experimented a bit more in this one with, like, the camera and watching the trains take off from different angles, like Thomas from, like, a high place. Because a train simulator, I find, is great for, let's say, practicing or trying a bit of, like, that train spotting just for a bit of a gaff or some fun. I could have done all that during the winter. Instead, I was planning to build my N gauge, which, again, not a bad thing. But, yeah, I actually realized that where the coal is, there's some good detail to how Thomas's paint job now looks a bit dirty. So, a small attention to detail like that is still really impressive. But you see the front here? Do you see how Thomas's pistons look like they were aligned? Now, I had to re-record this footage because I had the wrong microphone set up, but that's okay, but I'll say it now. Sometimes when I try and get a good front view of the engines, their side rods and their pistons are symmetrical. And when you look at a real steam engine with its side rods, they're not in line, but that's because it allows the pistons to work in flow to allow the engine to move along. You know, like how like a cog sort of has like interlocking arms to move the whole mechanism, kind of like that. having the side rods and the pistons symmetrical kind of takes away from the realism, and if you kind of go for like something that's meant to have some realism involved in it, I know it makes me sound really picky, but it's not something that I enjoy seeing. Like, I remember seeing 46447, the Ivan Class 2 MT that's currently East Somerset Railway. There are times where she had problems taking off, so you'd have to reverse the locomotive to give it that forward momentum to move forward because the pistons were out of place. And that's why they are purposely not symmetrical. I know it's a small nitpicky thing, but that's on me, but it's something that I noticed over time. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly stay quiet for a bit and allow a bit more footage as Bertie pulls in here. I'm just not a fan, before I do like go quiet, I'm not a fan of how Bertie just stops instead of just slowing down or losing momentum. That could be patched in later, but I just thought that was a bit lazy.
Please, hurry. We need to get back up to speed if we are going to beat Bertie.
Okay, so for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep quiet for a little bit, and I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this scenario here, because it's not a long one, it's not a hard one. It's just nice to see some different angles of footage of Thomas hauling Annie and Clarabelle to beat Bertie in a race. So I'll catch you all in the next scenario, which will include Percy. Just jumping back in here quick, I just want to say I actually took some time to look at the model for Bertie here, and I think he's crafted so well. I could definitely see Bertie living in the real world. His face looks concerned, like he's pulling the face that you pull when you meet a stranger and you give him a little awkward smile as if to say, please don't hurt me. Other than that, no complaints, honestly.
done it! We beat Bertie! Well done, Thomas, said Bertie. That was fun, but I think we should have another race to see if I can beat you next time.
So that's the end of Thomas's scenarios for a while. Now we get to finally move on to some new characters. As I said, we now get to take the controls of Percy. So his scenario is split into two. So we start with a simple passenger run. Then we move on to a goods train. Let's have a look and see how these scenarios play out.
Percy's troublesome day. Percy had a busy day ahead and was trying his best not to be late. Mustn't be late today, he said to himself. Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me. Come on, Percy, said his fireman. Off we go.
There's definitely a lot more rivets compared to the model series. Again, adding to that realism, they did some great job adding small details to give that more fleshed out 3D aesthetic look to a real world Thomas, Percy, and all the other engines. It looks nice. But that's what I was talking about with the pistons earlier. It just looks wrong. But look at... I'm more concerned about Percy's face. Poor chap looks like he's about to get some horrifying news, bless his heart and soul. So I tried to whistle there to Emily, but she didn't whistle back. I thought that was rude, but I think you've got to cross an engine on the opposite track for them to actually... I think you have to be at a very close distance in order for it to work. Other than that, this is, again, a bog standard passenger run, so it's sort of a palette cleanser for scenarios that become more difficult later on down the line, and you do unlock more and more challenging ones as you go along, like instead of the standard stories, and there's like actual challenges you can do along the way that I will do eventually. Just for now, I'm just going through the scenarios and all the different stories to get an idea of what it is we are getting ourselves into. And there's always some more expansion and exploration to come down the line. There's things hidden in each different station, try and listen for different whistles and that sort of thing, for achievements, try and get some special bonuses here, there, or whatever. But I think, honestly, even if you aren't like a major collector, the charm just comes from being able to explore an actual island of Sodor as if it was in real time. Now, I don't know how accurate it is. The accuracy of the island is very much debated among different continuities and different forms of media and how it's supposed to look. I know that there's some, not necessarily disagreement, but it's confusing and not understood how it's essentially meant to look. I have a feeling that there are some limitations that the game designers had to deal with to bring this game to life, which probably has compromised a lot of the designs of the island, but I didn't notice anything. I probably didn't look at it as hard as I look at other forms of media, but in this context, I'm just amazed you're even able to pull this off at all, if I'm being totally honest. Just amazed entirely. I will say, I don't ever remember a story other than when Percy joins and runs Thomas's branch line for a bit, when the big engines go on strike, or when Percy takes Annie and Clarabelle and the children home. I don't remember any other passenger services that Percy actually did in the show. Maybe I just need to go back and rewatch some episodes to see if there are any. I just don't remember any. But I think there was one story. I don't know if it was actually written by Reverend Audrey or his son Christopher, but I never heard of this one. It's called The Triple Header, where Thomas, Duck, and Percy are pulling the express. I don't know if that was ever a scenario ever before, but I don't know what it is. The idea of like 3 tank engines pulling an express engine together is kind of funny to me, but I feel like it'd be more appropriate if there was, instead of a triple header, it's a double header mixed with a top and tail. Oh, I heard a whistle, but Thomas didn't whistle back. Now that's just rude. Yeah, look at his face, Thomas. You made him sad. You're supposed to be his friend. How dare you not whistle back? It's a bit of courtesy, man. Come on. Anyway, let's just enjoy some more of the journey. I love seeing that red hot air balloon up in the sky. That's so adorable.
Percy arrived at Elsbridge Station and collected his passengers, but he had to wait for Bertie the bus. "Where is Bertie?" said Percy impatiently. "He's going to make me late." Just then, he heard a voice calling out, "Wait! Wait!" At last, Bertie screeched into the station. "Where have you been?" asked Percy. "I've been waiting ages for you. I thought you were supposed to be the fastest bus on Sodor." "Some road repairs were being done and I had to wait for the workmen to let me pass," explained Bertie. "Well, now I'm going to be late," Percy huffed. As soon as the guard blew his whistle, Percy raced away. He knew he had to make up for lost time. But then there was trouble. As Percy rounded the bend, he saw that some cows were blocking the line.
Only in the West Country, my lover. Well, this is actually the Northwestern, so no. But it's so Somerset. It's hilarious. But yeah, this is another scenario where the driver actually gets involved, which is quite nice to see.
Oh no, moaned Percy. Now I'm sure to be late. Please move out of the way, you silly cows. It looks like we'll have to go and move the cows ourselves, said his fireman.
Where's Toby when you need him? And his bell and whistle to be able to scare off a bull. Champion, I believe the name was. Daisy couldn't do it. I remember that episode. I think I actually got that episode on Amazon. Anyway, yeah, so rather than either trying to find Farmer McCall or anything, you just have to move the cows over to the side. I don't know what it is. That doesn't feel safe. Isn't the whole protocol to get the cows safely behind the other side of the fence? This doesn't feel very safe. Because the cow could still run out at any moment, which I'm not really a fan of. Again, this is probably limitations. Maybe they had to do this quick. Maybe they had a time crunch. But yeah, I'm really... I know I'm talking over the narrator here, but I'm really not a fan of that. I know, again, it's probably just not... It's going to kill time from actually driving the trains, which I know most people want to do. But if we're going for a realism sense, it doesn't sit right with me. Maybe because I just really care about cows, despite the fact that I love burgers too much. How conflicting. So I tried to go for the, you know, the shot where the camera's on the tracks and the engine drives over it because the camera's sitting on one of the sleepers. Yeah, I tried to go for that shot and I thought I had it, but the camera was jolted and I was so disappointed. How cool would it be to see that happen? There's probably a way to manipulate the camera so that there's no like collision with the model of the engine. I just haven't found it. Anyway, we're nearly done with this scenario. I think we just have to go under this tunnel, get to the station, and we can move on to Percy's Troublesome Day Part 2.
Percy soon arrived at Farquhar Station. He saw that the station master was waiting for him. "I'm sorry we're late," said Percy. "There were cows on the line, and Bertie was late, and—" "It's all right, Percy," smiled the station master. "It looks like you're having one of those days. Anyway, you're only a few minutes late, and the delays weren't your fault, so we'll say no more about it. Now, I've had a phone call from Sir Topham Hatt, and he wants you to collect some trucks from the quarry." "OK," puffed Percy. "We'll go right away. I just need to leave my coaches in the siding first."
So this game just sort of plods along with different scenario to scenario, and it's honestly quite a chilled time. I was thinking back at the footage I recorded, and I don't think I've ever felt as relaxed as I have playing this game, if I'm being honest. The only other time I felt so relaxed was probably playing Animal Crossing.
Percy's Troublesome Day.
Oh, look who's here. It's that green caterpillar with red stripes.
"Oh, please do be quiet," Percy said sternly. "I don't have time for your tricks today."
We'll show him some tricks.
So I feel like that the story is pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. Percy gets some trucks, the trucks play tricks, but somehow Percy manages to do the job. You'll see in a minute that there's a point where I actually do fail the scenario because, well, where I thought I was supposed to be moving along, I wasn't supposed to, but you'll see in a minute. But for now, let's just enjoy the footage of Percy shunting and pulling his goods train. So the reason I'm failing these scenarios is because I'm so invested in everything I'm seeing is that I'm forgetting the scenario. And to be fair, it's quite impressive for a group of game designers to make a scenario that is so immersively beautiful that you forget that you're actually supposed to be following instructions. So this isn't actually a negative. I'd say that's more of a positive, that they're able to make something so beautiful I forget. Does this sound like I'm making an excuse? Maybe I'm making an excuse, but I'm not really. I messed up. I should have been following instructions. I should have taken my time. I keep forgetting that there's no real time frame to these scenarios early on. It may change later on as I play more of the scenarios later on, but there's nothing to say, oh, you have to... You're not like in an actual train sim world where, oh, you got to get there by this time, leave at that time, that sort of thing, a bit of delay. Something like that. It's not time, so it really doesn't matter. I think they want you to explore a bit more early on, and to be honest with you, that's probably a good thing. So don't take me failing as me doing it on purpose. Take it as me just enjoying what I see.
On, faster, faster.
No, no, stop pushing.
And there was my first crash. God, I'm terrible at this game. Oh well. At least it looked real. At least it looked devastating. But yeah, I really need to pay attention to what I'm doing and not just get lost in it. Then again, I was recording this late at night, pretty much at 11 o'clock midnight, and I think I was sleep deprived, so that was also another reason. Maybe that's another excuse, but yeah. I've been very busy lately.
On, faster, faster.
No, no, stop pushing.
It was actually here that I noticed that the gravitational pull of the downward momentum of the hill actually really helped drive the seriousness of the situation along. So it does look like that the trucks are pushing Percy along down the hill, which again, that's what trucks are going to do. They're going to push an engine or hold them back depending on the situation, and you have to react ready for the situation. And in this case, because the hill is somewhat steep and there is a downward incline, you're able to kind of get away with making it look like the trucks are pushing them down, which honestly, really good usage of the environment there. To see how it's not steep, but there is enough of an incline that the gravity and the force of the weight of the engines of the trucks is enough to force Percy down. I wouldn't say that's a shocked or scared face, that's more of a very unsure and concerned face. Either way, I do actually start to get serious by this point, so if I do fail again, it's probably because I'm about to fall asleep, but oh well. C'est la vie.
was close, said Percy. Now that's enough from you trucks. I've had enough trouble today. Spoil sport. Percy arrived at the harbour just in time. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for him. "Well done, Percy. Right on time," he said. "I've heard you've had quite a difficult day today. But you got all your work done and once again proved what a really useful engine you are."
Oh, thank you, sir,
puffed Percy. "As a reward for all your hard work, I'm sending you to the works for a shiny new coat of green paint." Percy beamed with pride.
I could not believe how long that entire scenario was, but it was at this point I decided I wasn't going to play any more scenarios for the night. I thought I'd try and do a bit of exploring, so I loaded up the map again. I decided to go around for a bit and see what I could find. I thought I'd maybe play with a couple other engines, maybe. I decided to load myself into Wellsworth. For some reason the weather changes. I put up snow, but then it's very grassy for some reason. I don't get it. I tried looking around for any like hidden secrets that there were. I don't know if I saw any in here, but if I was to do any exploring, I would probably do this when I'm not recording gameplay because, one, loads of other Thomas fans have done this already, and two, I wouldn't want to bore you with me going here, there, and everywhere trying to find all the secrets. If I was to live stream it, maybe we could while we chat. Other than that, nah. I do find it a bit strange that the station platform... What the hell happened to the snow? I figured, whilst I was here, I'd load up James and see if I can work out how to get him moving. I struggled a bit. I didn't realize I had to actually sit in the driver's seat and then set my location, so I got a bit stuck, but I did eventually figure out and I was on the move. I actually unloaded the consist and loaded just James on his own because I thought the problem was my end. I thought it was something to do with the game, but no. I just wasn't doing it right, but I figured, you know what, let's just have a look at James running. And I did. Off he goes, and he takes over quite a pelt. Then again, tender engines are given a speed advantage. And obviously there's no trucks behind weighing him down, so he can go at full pelt if he wanted to. And I thought it was nice to just see James running along. I paid extra to get James, and I think his model looks splendid. If I coin his famous phrase. He looks incredible, so let's just sit back and let's watch James shoot down the line like a lightning flash. well, that was just really nice to watch, if I'm being totally honest. Just real chill vibes there. So that's where I'm going to leave this episode. Thank you all so much for watching again. I got one more video coming up with a few more scenarios, and if you like these and want to see more, leave a comment, let me know. I'll keep doing more. If not, I'll continue with our regular scheduled programming. Until then, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like train content in general, like heritage railways, mainline charters, a bit of train spotting, and model railways. Until next time, I shall see you all down the line. Take care.